Good morning. Good morning, Carol, Laura, and Bruce, Kathleen, and Jeffrey, and Laura, Jen Davis, Nasa, Kimberly, Irma Gamboa, Christopher, and Katie, Nan. So wonderful to see people signing on, and then the names come too quickly for me to mention them. And I do want to thank Bruce and Alicia and Chandra for the gifts of candles, and using Bruce's right now. And the problem with these candles is that they're so beautiful that I don't want to use them, but I will. I think I'll have enough candles for the rest of this year's practice, and that's what we're doing. A year-long practice. We started in January with living the science of mind. The 365 Science of Mind, a year of daily wisdom by Ernest Holmes. And I'm using the Kindle version. This morning, the 26th reading begins with a quote from one of the Testaments. This is the Christian Testament of John 6, and this is, if you are a Christian or from Christian heritage, you may know the story. It's a story of the teacher Jesus. He's out on a hillside and he's teaching his students, a mass of them, and they run out of food, and he feeds the masses through a miraculous multiplication of resources. And afterwards, he continues to teach a particularly difficult subject. And after he's spoken, he's teaching, the students are, one version of the Bible says they grumbled about the difficulty of the subject. And he noticed that and went on to explain that the living spirit is the source of everything. So the quote at the top of the page is from John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth everything. Quicken. It's a lovely word, to make faster, to make quick, to stimulate. But it also means to give life and to restore life. And there's some old uses of the word where quicken means to cause to burn, like a fire. And I believe it also means, you can also find use of quicken meaning the first sign in pregnancy, the movement of life, like the fetus is moving. So it has to do with the inception of life. So they're grumbling. He notices they are grumbling, the students, and he's talking to them about the spirit being the source of life, being the source of knowledge, and nothing external, nothing else, the spirit only. And so that is the focus of the reading. So let's lean into it together. All life is one life. Just as every physical substance known comes from one universal energy, in the same way, there is only one life principle that gives life, and that is the living spirit. And we all live in it and from it. We come from that infinite source. Our individual life comes from that one source. This one life, present everywhere, is present where I am, where you are. So I say to myself that the life of the living spirit is the only life that there is. And to me, it means that my life is not only inside the living spirit, but it is of the living spirit and from the living spirit. It is the living spirit. The living spirit is in me and through me. So there's not my life and the life of the living spirit. So with this thought, then, I think about how I treat this life of mine, how I think about it, noting that in the past, before I knew of my oneness in the living spirit, I may have been less respectful. So today, I'm waking up to the holiness of my existence, of all existence. And I let run through my mind like a mantra this phrase, there is only one life. That life is the living spirit. And that life is my life right now. And I let this phrase from the Christian Testament run through my mind today as I move through the world. In the living spirit, I live and move and have my being. And the living spirit lives in me and quickens me, moves me, restores me. So I let fall away any idea that my life is separate from anything. And I think on the idea that every part of me, physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, every function of my being, my senses, all of it is quickened by the living spirit. It is the living spirit that is circulating in me right now, causing my circulation physically to happen. And as I dwell upon this and become more aware of it, I'm filled with a joy that has a warmth in it, a harmony. I feel harmonized to all. I sense my oneness with the whole. And I say to my own mind, you are to live, and you are to think, and you are to be free. And I say to myself, the living spirit is my life, and it is flowing through me right now. Today, as I move through the world, I say to myself, the life of the living spirit is the only life that there is, and I am living it. It is my life now, completely. Letting the next breath I take be deeper than the one before. Let myself become aware of my environment. Perhaps I'll look at the candle for a moment. And I'll sit for a while right here quietly, preparing myself, getting my mind, well, letting my mind be, really, getting myself on the right track, so that as I move out into the world, some of this time of contemplation stays with me. I thank you for joining this morning, and I especially thank those of you who on Facebook are able to share this post. I appreciate that very much. I love hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a blessed day.